Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel for our first Army focus video of 3.5. Now, if you were not here in 3.4, what I do is I pick an army every week and I do a focus video on them. We go over the armies. We make an army list, not necessarily the most competitive army list, but one that I think is going to be cool from a playing and modeling perspective. And then we have a game with them. Normally, what we would do is we would have a game at the end of this video. Instead of doing that, our live streams were so much fun to do and everyone seemed to like them so much that on Thursdays we are now going to have live streamed games with the Army of the Week. And also there will be a painting video on Mondays. So this Monday coming up, you're going to see me paint whatever army we choose. And this week, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of army lists already made up. Oh, this is another thing I do for this, is I make all the army lists kind of whenever. So I don't build them to fight each other. I just build them when I have a good idea or whenever inspiration hits. So this week, our first army of the week is Prime Brothers. And before we jump into it, a word from our sponsor.
Fleet Admirals, Generals, your reinforcements have arrived. At PrintedStarships.com, you will find high-quality 3D printed starships and sci-fi armies ready for deployment. Whether you're commanding fleets in Star Wars or Armada, dogfighting in X-Wing, battling in one-page rules war fleets, or leading ground forces in grimdark future, we've got the precision-crafted models you need to seize victory. Use code warbossfitz for 15% off your order. That's PrintedStarships.com. Prepare to take command of the tabletop.
Welcome back, and thank you to Printed Starships for sponsoring the channel. So, Prime Brothers. We're not going to compare it to what they were from 3.4 to 3.5. We're not going to talk about buffs and nerfs. We're going to talk about what we have right now. And Prime Brothers, let's see here. We got the buff, the fluff section here. We're going to skip that. I'll leave that for somebody else to go over. What we are going to talk about is the Army-wide special rules. Battleborn. If a unit where all models have this rule is shaken at the beginning of the round, roll 1 die. On a 4+, it stops being shaken. So that is going to help out taking and, well, it wouldn't really help you take an objective, but it will make sure that your units are combat effective for as long as they can be, even though most of these units, well, maybe all these units, have Fearless. Yes, all your units have Fearless. So you, with a quality of 3, it's a 3 and then a 4 from Fearless. If you fail all that at the beginning of the next turn, you have another 50-50 shot of unstunning yourself. So you won't be stunned for long. And then Reinforced. When units where all models have this rule, they are shot or charged from over 9 inches away, and they take hits. Those hits count as being AP -1 to a minimum of AP 0. So you get a little bit more mileage out of your guys if you stand back and you get into a firefight with stuff, you're going to ignore 1 AP. So here we go with the special rules. We got a couple here. We got Demolish, ignores cover, and units where most models have toughness 3 to toughness 9, this weapon gets AP +2. So that is going to be the Battle Brothers. Like every army has their own special weapon. This is going to be the one for the Prime Brothers. We'll have to see what weapons that is going to be on. And then we have Melee Slayer. This model's melee weapons get AP +2 against units where most models have toughness 3 or higher. Okay, we'll have to keep that in mind. Precise, +1 to hit. Ravage, it's on a 6. The model takes a wound every time they attack in melee. So that looks like it's going to be whenever you charge or you are charged, you get to roll the dice. It's on a 6. We don't really have the bodies to get massive numbers of dice rolled, but might be good for a 1 or 2 little plinker wounds here and there, because the model takes a wound. It doesn't take a hit, it takes a wound. It goes right through the armor. What else we got to pop up here? Oh, shielded. Units where all models have this rule get +1 to defense rolls. Okay, a little bit more survivability. Unstoppable shooting mark. Pick an enemy unit with an 18. You get unstoppable when you shoot against it. Okay, ignores regeneration, ignores all negative modifiers to this weapon. Okay, okay. Versatile attack. When this unit is activated, pick one effect for the activation. AP +1 or +1 to hit. All right. Then aura special rules. I like this. They have their own little section here. There's versatile reach, +4-inch range when shooting, or +2 inches when charging. All right. We got regeneration aura. On a 5-up, you ignore a wound. Rapid rush, +6 inches when using a rush. Okay. It is not charged, it is just rushing, so they get you where you need to be faster. Melee shrouding, enemies get -3 movement when they charge. +1 to morale test with a courage aura. And Bane when shooting. This model and its unit get Bane when shooting. Fair enough. And then Bane in melee. Bane in melee. So what Bane is, poison turned into Bane. It ignores regeneration, and whenever you attack, or whenever you hit with this, the enemy has to re-roll saves of 6. Now, here we go. We got some spells. Advanced Sight. One enemy with 18. You get unstoppable when you shoot them. Okay. Ignores regeneration. Ignores all negative modifiers. We saw that already. One enemy within 12. 2 hits with Demolish from Mind Wound. Ignores cover, and against units where most models have tough 3 to tough 9. It gets AP 2. Blessed Ammo. 2 friendly units within 12 get Shred. 1s to save cause an extra wound. Okay. Lightning Fog. Pick up to 2 enemies within 9. They take 4 hits. Protective Dome. Pick up to 3 friendly units within 12. They get Evasive, which is -1 to hit rolls when attacking units, where all models have this rule. So it's just straight -1 to hit, melee, and shooting. And then Psychic Terror. Pick 1 enemy within 6, which takes 9 hits with Bane. Okay, we got some interesting stuff. This Evasive is pretty nice. And then putting Shred on 2 friendly units, depending on the weapons and the number of attacks those weapons have, those could be pretty good. Demolish. I'm not sure how effective Demolish is going to be, but we'll see what our options are. So let's get into some units here. Starting off with our heroes, we have a Grave Prime Master. So 3/3 with Battleborn. Fearless, hero, reinforced, shielded, and toughness 5. Okay, so it starts off reinforced and shielded. So this thing is pretty much going to be a 2-up save. And then it comes naked, pretty much. 4 attacks with close combat weapon. Okay, it has the melee shrouding aura, rapid rush aura, Bane in melee, caster 2, Bane when shooting, and caster 3. We can replace the combat shield and a close combat weapon with a Master Grave Heavy Pistol, 4 shots at AP1 at 12 inches and 4 attacks, 8 attacks with Rending from Dual Energy Claws, Dual Energy Sword, 8 attacks at AP1 with Rending, a Fist Flamer, 2 shots, Blast 3 reliable at 6 inches, 4 attacks in melee, and an Energy Fist, 4 attacks at AP4, or a Fist Pistol, 6 shots at 12 inches, 4 attacks at AP4, and 4 attacks with close combat weapon. Okay. It could be interesting on his own with some of these weapons, but it's a character you're going to... A lot of 3.5, the heroes, you're going to want to put them in units to get your different auras and stuff off. So we'll talk about them, but we really won't get into building units until we start building units. Next, we have its shooting weapons. You can replace a heavy pistol, so you have to do the 10-point upgrade to access these. Plasma pistol, 4 shots, AP4 at 12. That could be interesting. The precision rifle, 4 shots, 24 inches with precise, giving you +1 to hit, meaning he's going to be hitting on a 2. A Master Grave auto rifle, 8 shots at 18. Okay, we're getting into some bigger numbers here. And then a Grave heavy rifle, 6 shots, AP1 at 24. Not too shabby. Then we have replaced close combat weapon with an energy hammer for 2 blast attacks. Chain Fist for 2 attacks, AP2, Deadly 3. Energy Fist for 4 attacks, AP4. Energy Great Sword for 6 attacks, AP1 with Rending. And you can upgrade it with 1 Xenos Hunter for Melee Slayer. Honor Guard for Ravage of 3. That's the one where you roll your dice before you attack. And on a 6, the enemy takes a wound. Retaliate 1 from the Founder's Avenger. Whenever you take a wound in melee, the attacker takes X number of hits. So if you take a wound, if somehow they get through all that armor, the enemy takes a hit. Ambush, or jetpack with ambush and flying. Okay. All right, so that was the Grave Prime Master. Let's go to the Veteran Prime Master. So it's a 3/3 Battleborn Fearless Hero Reinforced Shielded Tough 3 with a versatile attack. This one here looks like it's either going to be hitting on a 2 or be hitting with AP +1. And for the upgrades we can get, we have a lot of the same. We do have Artillerist to reposition artillery, where you can take one friendly model within 6 with artillery and move it up to 9 inches. And Lieutenant for redeployment after all other units are deployed, including non-ambush units that were set aside. You may remove up to 2 friendly units from the table and deploy them again. Players alternate in placing redeployment units, starting with the player that activates next. So this can be a cheeky misdirection from this character, from this hero. You can set up some units in a very vulnerable position and then just decide, no, that was a lie. Move them somewhere else. You can give them a jetpack for ambush and flying, a combat bike for twin heavy rifles, 2 shots, 24 AP1, fast and toughness +3. We can replace that combat shield and close combat weapon with a flamer pistol, or a flamer pistol and a combat shield, giving him a bash +1 and shielded. Okay, so he keeps the shield, and then he can punch you with it. Okay. 4 attacks with a rending from dual energy claws, or 4 attacks at AP1 from a heavy chainsaw sword. We can replace the flamer pistol with an anti-gravity pistol. Here's 2 shots at 9 inches with demolish. Master heavy pistol, 2 shots, 12 inches AP1. Master auto rifle, 18 inches, 3 shots. Master plasma pistol, 2 shots at 12 inches at AP4. A master marksman carbine, 2 shots, reliable and takedown at 18. And takedown means you can pick out the model and unit you're shooting at. Very useful for taking out those characters that are giving auras out. A master precision rifle, 2 shots with precise at 24. Master heavy rifle, 2 shots AP1 at 24. And you can replace the close combat weapon with a hammer for blast, sword for rending, relic sword for deadly, or an energy fist for AP4. Like I said, we're going to be looking at the versatility of heroes when we start putting units together. Next, we got a Prime Master. It looks like this guy has almost the same stuff. It looks like he's just got a few less things going on. We got the combat bike, jet bike, close combat weapons are the same. The pistol can be replaced with the same stuff. He can upgrade the Master Marksman Carbine with a scope, giving it +1 to hit, which I don't know why he would do that. It's already reliable for a 2+. Well, maybe if the enemy has a -1 to hit or something, you can be like, I put a scope on it. And then he has the flamer pistol where you can use that to get access to all these. He does not have the punchy shield, though. But I like punchy shields. And that pretty much does it for that. It is almost the same as the Veteran Prime Master. Next, we have the Elite Raider. It's a 4/4. So we're taking a step back. Battleborn Fearless Furies Hero Reinforced Strider and Toughness 3. So we've lost the shielded, but we picked up Strider, which means we ignored the effects of difficult terrain when we're moving. And then this one comes with a flamer pistol and close combat weapon to start with. So what do we got for upgrades, or unit upgrades? We have the Rapid Rush, Redeployment, Bane in Melee, Bane when shooting, and Caster 3. So we skip Caster 2, go right to Caster 3. Okay, interesting. You can upgrade it with Infiltration Gear to give it Scout, or Orbital Drop to give it Ambush. So all 4 of your characters do have the option to ambush. And then for the pistol, Demolish, AP1, 3 shots, precise. Yeah, it looks like the same weapons in both categories. So looks like these are the standard upgrades for your hero characters. Now let's get into the meats of stuff. Let's look at the Infiltration Squad first. All right, 130 points, 4/4, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, Scout, and Strider. Now, I haven't talked about it yet. Scout, you deploy after everybody else. You deploy in your deployment zone, and then you can move out 12 inches. So that lets you get up the board. And our options for the unit, we start out with carbines, 1-shot, rending, and takedown. Ooh. So this is a squad of snipers, and you can upgrade them to all have +1 to hit. Now they start off with marksman carbines, one shot at 18 with rending and takedown, so they could pick out their target. They don't have reliable, so their marksman carbines are going to hit on a 4, but you can give them a scope to give them +1 to hit. And they also have a targeting array, which is the unstoppable shooting mark. So not only will this squad be picking out all the important characters in other squads, but putting unstoppable out there. If you have an enemy that's kind of squirrely, they could be like, we're going to hit you anyways. Rather short range for sniper rifles at 18 inches, but your whole arm is going to be pushing out pretty hard, so you should be okay there. They've got other things to worry about at 18 inches. Next, we have the Raider Squad. They're 4-4, Battleborn, Fearless, Furious, Reinforced, and Strider for 130 points. Starting off with heavy pistols, one shot AP1 at 12 inches, and 2 attacks with a close combat weapon. So one of the members of the squad can switch out his pistol and close combat weapon for a pistol and hammer for blast 3, a pistol and a sword for rending, a pistol and a relic sword for deadly 3, or a pistol and a fist for AP 4, or you can go for a heavy chainsaw sword for 4 attacks AP 1, and you can upgrade them with orbital drop to give them ambush. So these would be what in a normal Battle Brothers army, this would be what the scouts or the infiltrators would be considered. In this army, it's called the Raider Squad. Plus, the GW models have really cool helmets. Now, let's go to the mainstay, or what should be the mainstay, the Prime Brothers. 155 points for 5 of them. Quality 3, Defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, and Reinforced, coming with a precision rifle, one shot at 24 with precise for +1 to hit, and 1 attack in close combat. You can replace the precision rifles with a heavy rifle to give you AP1, or auto rifles to give you 2 shots at 18. Both of those are free upgrades. Now here it says replace 1 precision rifle, but if you do want to have one of these 2 options, just hit this first and then hit this button up here. You can do an anti-gravity rifle for demolish, a flamer for blast 3 and reliable, plasma rifle for AP4, fusion rifle for AP4 deadly 3, a heavy machine gun for 3 shots at AP1. You can take 1 heavy rifle attachment, so one of your guys can be lobbing a grenade for blast 3, but it is limited. Limited means you only get to fire this weapon once per game. Once you fire it, it's gone. And it's kind of in this sort of situation, I wouldn't even look at this. 5-man squad, blast 3 limited. I'll forget it's there most of the time. You can replace a precision rifle. You can make somebody into your sergeant with a sergeant heavy pistol and an energy sword. And then you can replace the pistol there with a plasma pistol or an anti-gravity pistol for AP4 and demolish. You can replace the sword with a fist for AP4. And you can upgrade 1 model with, and this is where your Prime Brother squads get interesting. You can give them a detachment banner for courage aura to give them +1 to morale tests. I don't know why you would need to do that. You're already, well, this squad in particular, you're quality 3 with fearless on top of it. You can do the Founder's banner for versatile reach, for +4-inch range when shooting, or +2 inches when charging, or medical training to give them all regeneration. I'll tell you right now, you're going to see at least one person in every squad. This medical training is going to be there because it's just 30 points to give you a 5-up extra save on top of stuff. Yes, it can be removed by a lot of stuff in the game, but 30 points, that's like for the cost of 1 more extra brother in the squad, you get an extra 33% chance to pass a save. I mean, why wouldn't you? All right, moving on. Assault Squad. They're 170, quality 3, defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, and Reinforced. This one, we have pistols for 1 shot at AP1 at 12 inches and 2 attacks in close combat with AP1. You can replace 1 of the pistols with a flamer pistol for blast and reliable, or a plasma pistol with AP4. 1 of the heavy close combat weapons, you can replace them with a hammer for blast, sword for rending, relic sword for deadly, or a fist for AP4. You can give them all jetpacks for ambush and flying, and you also have the same banners you could take, the courage, versatile reach, and regeneration. Once again, you are definitely going to see the regeneration aura, because for less than the cost of a single one, you get a 33% get out of jail free card. And you're probably going to see them with jetpacks, maybe. But the assault squads, this is a warbossfitz piece of advice from the front. Something that I've experienced in games, or I've done, and I see how things work. Your Prime Brothers will be more effective in close combat than they are in shooting. And that's based entirely off of the way morale is in Grimdark Future. If you shoot somebody, you got to knock them down to half to make them roll a morale test so that they can be stunned. In Melee, all you have to do is beat them by 1 extra wound caused. With your Prime Brothers, that's kind of easy to do. And then if you reduce them to below half, which again is kind of easy to do, and they fail the morale test, they run away completely. If you play against Prime Brothers or any of the flavors of Prime Brothers or even Battle Brothers, you're going to be in close combat most of the time. Okay, next we have Veteran Prime Brothers. There's only 3 of these in the squad. Quality 3, Defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, and Versatile Attack baked in. So the squad is always going to be +1 to hit or AP +1. They come with precision rifles and close combat weapons. You can replace any of the precision rifles with heavy rifles or auto rifles, and then you can replace any of the precision rifles with these specialty weapons here. Heavy machine guns, fusion rifles, heavy flamers, plasma rifles, flamers, or anti-gravity rifles. Also, if you take the heavy rifles, you can attach a flamer mod, plasma mod, anti-gravity mod, grenade mod, or fusion mod to give you the special weapons abilities, but they're all limited, so you can only do them once. You can upgrade one of the members of the squad to a sergeant, and there you get access to an energy fist, and you can replace his heavy pistol with a plasma pistol or anti-gravity pistol, and you also have access to the banners. So we'll build some squads in a minute, I promise. Let's look at the assault squads. Again, 3 in the squad for 95 points, 3/3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, Shielded, and Versatile Attack. So they come with a combat shield. You can replace the pistol and the combat shield. And I definitely would, because you want more than 1 attack with these guys. You could do the heavy close combat weapon and a shield, pistol and a heavy close combat weapon, heavy chain sword for 4 attacks AP1, or a dual energy claw for 4 attacks with a rending. Now, if you go heavy close combat weapon and shield, or pistol and heavy close combat weapon, you can get into the special melee weapons down here. Hammer, energy sword, relic sword, or energy fist. You can upgrade them all with jetpacks. You have your banner options down here, and you can also replace the pistols. But for this, well, we'll go into it in a minute. I think I'll do like a recommended build for each one of these squads. Next, we have the Desolator Squad. 220 points for 5 dudes. Quality 3, Defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, and Relentless. Relentless is, if you roll a 6 and you're more than 9 inches away from the enemy when you're shooting at them, a 6 gives you 1 extra hit. So we have 5 HE launchers, or high explosive launchers. 30-inch range, 2 shots. And then close combat weapons. You can replace your HE launcher with an AT launcher. That's high explosive and anti-tank, just in case you're wondering. 1-shot AP2 unstoppable at 30 inches. And then you can replace one of the HE launchers with a Vengeance HE launcher, which gives you indirect and blast of 3, or a Vengeance AT launcher, which gives you 1-shot AP2 deadly 3. And you can upgrade all of them with mini grenade launchers, which gives them an 18-inch 1-shot indirect limited. This squad, I feel it's like looking to answer a problem that doesn't exist. Because I don't know. I just don't know. 2 shots at 30 with Relentless, is it worth 220? Again, I don't know. If you put on the HE launchers, that would be another 25 points. You're looking at 245 for AP2, 1-shot apiece and unstoppable. I just don't know about this squad. Let's move on. Blaster Squad, 250 points, quality 3, defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, and they're also Relentless. They come with plasma rifles for 1 shot at 24 inches with AP4. This, I feel, is in a better spot than those desolators, and you replace the plasma rifles with a heavy plasma rifle for 1 shot at AP4 at 30, or plasma auto rifles for 2 shots at AP4 at 24 inches. The plasma auto rifle is definitely the better choice here, but they are 35 points per guy, so you're looking at an extra 100. It's another 175 points, so it's 425 for 5 of them at that point. Ooh. You'll definitely kill whatever you're shooting at, that's for sure. Next, we have the Infernal Squad. There's 3 of them in the squad for 125, Quality 3, Defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, and Relentless. They have Flamers for 1 shot, Blast 3, and Reliable at 12 inches. There's no upgrades, it's just 3 dudes with Flamers. They get extra hits on a 6. Things could get interesting with this squad. And moving on, Elimination Squad. 145 for 3 models, Quality 4, Defense 4, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, Scout, Stealth, and Strider. They have sniper rifles, real sniper rifles compared to the marksmanship rifles, 30-inch range, 1 shot, AP1 with Reliable and Takedown. You can replace any sniper rifle with a laser sniper rifle for 1 shot, AP2, Deadly, 3, Reliable, and Takedown. And you can upgrade one model to have an unstoppable shooting mark with a targeting array. The laser sniper rifle is interesting, especially if you're using this squad to take out like enemy heroes or trying to really pick out members of the enemy squads that are giving off auras and stuff like we saw with the banners. Because 3 shots of Deadly 3 AP2 I feel is a lot easier to take somebody out with than the AP1. But again, we are expensive. 145, and then it's an additional, 75 a piece. We're looking at 225 here. Maybe just hide 1 in there. Maybe just 1. All right, let's move on. Suppression Squad. 230 points for 3 of them. Quality 3, Defense 3, Ambush, Battleborn, Fearless, Flying, Reinforced, and Relentless. So this is our first flying unit, which means you just ignore all terrain, all units. You just move wherever you're going to move as long as you don't land on top of somebody. And you could just start blasting or use this to get into some cool charging spots. So what do we have here? We have Assault Autocannons. 3 shots at 18 inches at AP2. So this is a DACA squad. 9 shots at AP2 at 18 inches. Interesting. Hitting on a 3. You're gonna. Okay, this is okay. Little peek behind the curtain. This is something I like to do whenever I'm thinking about a squad. I go over to Google and I just type in dice roller. So let's see here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here we go. Here's our 9 shots. I mean, this isn't scientific. You can go through and you can get the full bell curve of stuff, but I like to be interesting here. I like to do a little bit of a little bit of dice rolling. I missed. I had 1 more. So 3 hits out of that squad. They're AP2, but still. Ooh. That was just a bad roll. Let's do that again. So 4 hits. 6 hits there. Now, statistically, this is what should happen. You should only get 6 hits hitting on a 3 out of 9 shots. And I just like to use the dice roller as just a little bit of reinforcement to where my mind is already going with stuff. So, again, 230. Think about this. 230 for 6 hits at AP2. Is that worth it? I don't know. If you think it's worth it, it's worth it. I'm not sold on it. Next, we're going to the Heavy Prime Brothers. 230 points for 3 of them. 3-3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, Toughness 3. We've got Precision Rifles for 2 shots at 24. Hitting on a 2. You can replace the Precisions with Auto Rifles or Heavy Rifles. Auto Rifles give you 4 shots, and Heavy Rifles give you 3 shots at AP1. And you can replace 1 Grave Precision Rifle with a Grave Heavy Machine Gun, 4 shots at AP1. Okay, so for these, I would just go directly for the Grave Heavy Rifles. It's just more shots. Absolutely. Hitting on a 2 with 6 shots versus hitting on a 3. Okay, so here with the Heavy Grave Rifles, we got the same math as we did with the last squad. You're going to usually hitting with 6 of these at AP1. And with the Grave precision rifles, 2 shots apiece at 6 hits, you're going to be hitting on anything but a 1. Math says it's easy, you're going to be hitting with 5 of them. So yeah, Grave heavy rifles are the way to go. You get an AP, here you don't get any AP. You get less hits here because you have less shots. So yes, absolutely Grave heavy rifles is the way to go with this squad. Auto rifles, you would get more hits. Statistically, you're going to get 8 hits out of those 12 shots, but you lose the AP. I'd stick with the AP on this one. Again, Grave heavy rifle wins. Heavy machine gun, 35 points, I don't think it's worth it. The 20-point difference for an extra 6 inches and 1 more shot, nah, I wouldn't do it. Next we go to Grave Destroyers. Yes, in 3.5, the Destroyers are now in the Prime Brother army as well. 3 of them for 220 points. They're a 3-3, Ambush, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, Shielded, and Toughness 3. So they start off with Shielded, giving them a defense of 2. We have the banners right up here up top. We have Regeneration, Versatile, Reach, and Courage. We can replace the combat shields and close combat weapons with dual energy claws for 4 attacks at rending, storm rifle for 3 shots, AP1 at 24, and 1 attack with close combat weapon. And the way this is structured, if you do that, you can't do this because this is an A3. Hold on. We're gonna jump in just for testing purposes. We're jumping ahead here. Where is the Grave Destroyers? If you take the storm rifles, you can still take this down here. Okay, that's just a test, because here, replace any CCW's A1 or A3. I thought it had to be the A3 before you can start doing the replacing. Okay, I was wrong. So you can take the different close combat weapons, even if you take the ones that have 1 attack apiece, and you can also replace a storm rifle with a minigun for 4 shots, a twin heavy flamer for 2 shots at AP1 blaster, reliable, or a storm rifle and a cyclone missile launcher, which gets you 2 shots at deadly 3, which are unstoppable. Now, my thoughts on the Destroyer squad. The same with the rest of the Prime Brothers. You're going to want to be in melee with these. Well, first off, they have ambush, so you're going to want to ambush them somewhere where the enemy doesn't want you to ambush, to charge into them, into their gooey underbits. And for that, yeah, I would keep the shield. And then I would go for one of these. Do a shield and one of these down here. Definitely Energy Fist is a high contender. Being AP4 gives you the versatility to go after whatever you want. It is the most expensive upgrade, but not by much. The 30-point difference between rending at AP1 or just straight up AP4, I would go with AP4 for an extra 10 points all day, every day. And with the shield, that is going to keep you at a 2-up defense on top of reinforced. So if someone does shoot you, say you do ambush in, you're 9 inches away from the enemy. Unless they move towards you to shoot you, you are going to be defense 2, and the enemy is going to have -1 AP to their shooting. These guys are probably one of the most survivable things in your army. And in order to take some rifles, you have to drop the shield. Now, if you do want to shoot, we all do like DECA. You're already spending a ton of points here. You're already spending 75. The minigun is acceptable, but in this situation, I think the twin heavy flamer is going to be more versatile for you, because if you're ambushing towards the enemy's rear, they're going to have their larger squads back, or they're going to have squads that you haven't shot yet on turn number 2. Blast weapons that are going to be hitting on a 2, they're going to be AP1, 2 shots. It's probably going to be 6 hits at AP1. That's gonna do more than the minigun. Now later on, you might kill everything within 18 inches of you, which is a possibility, and your heavy flamer might not be doing anything else. But then there's also the option to split fire something further away. You can put the other 2 storm rifles for 6 shots at AP1, and the heavy flamer can go into your closer target. Yeah, destroyers, Grave Destroyers are a good addition to this army. Next, Jetpack Squad. 3 of them, 245 points. They're a 3-3 with Ambush, Battleborn, Fearless, Flying, Reinforced, and Toughness 3. They have twin assault bolters, giving them 4 shots at 12 inches, and 1 attack apiece from close combat weapons, and you can replace all of the twin assault bolters with twin plasma bolters. Why? Why? Okay, 2 shots apiece at AP4. I was like, why is this only 20 points? So 6 shots at AP4, you're at 265 points at that point. This falls into the category in my head of not quite worth it, but might be interesting. So your mileage may vary. I could probably find something that will do this job better. Next, we have the Guard Squad. 3 of them for 260 points. Quality 3, Defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, Melee Slayer, Reinforced, Shielded, and Toughness 3. Now, they have Melee Slayer. If they're fighting something that is tough 3 or higher, they AP +2. And they start off with heavy pistols and relic swords. Relic swords, if they do fight something that is tough, are going to become 1 attack apiece at AP4, Deadly 3. So if they're going against a vehicle, ouch. If they're going against a large elite unit from the enemy, ouch. With shielded, they're pretty much going to be defense 2. You can replace the relic swords with dual energy swords for 4 attacks, AP1 with rending. Now it is a higher potential for damage because 1 attack apiece at Deadly 3, 4 attacks apiece at AP1. Possibly AP4, these would turn into AP3 against something that is tough. 6 one way, half dozen the other. These ignore regeneration. This does not. This can chip damage stuff. This hits in big old blocks of 3. That one's up to you. But when you do that, you do lose the shield. So this one's a little bit more gung-ho, but you can keep the shield. And you can replace them with 3 attacks, AP1 with rending. So here we go. It's pretty much the same thing here. AP4 against a tough target versus AP3. Regeneration with Deadly 3. No regeneration with rending. Oh, they also have pistols. They have a shooting attack. Okay. Why would you? You can replace them with plasma pistols for 5 points apiece. And then if you wanted to get rid of that Melee Slayer, you can do Retaliate, or whenever you take a wound, the attacker takes X number of hits. So when you take a wound, the enemy takes a hit. Or Ravage from Honor Guard. Ravage 3. So if they roll a 6, the target takes 1 wound. Now again, interesting. This is where I would go back to the dice roller. So let's say we got 3 of them in the squad. Was that Ravage 3? 3 attacks apiece with that. So here we go. Well, 3 wounds just went through there. 2 wounds. 2 wounds. 1 wound. 1 wound. Statistically, the way this should work with 9 of them looking for a 6. Ooh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Statistically, you're between 1 and 2. So sometimes you'll get, most of the time you'll get 1. Sometimes you can kind of bank on a 2 of them every other time. This is ridiculousness. Don't expect this to happen. You can see I roll it again, and we got nothing. See, sometimes the dice give, and times the dice take away. So just the randomness of that, I would keep the Melee Slayer. This way, you choose the right targets. That Melee Slayer is going to be worth more than the Ravage, in my mind. Because again, Melee Slayer, let's say you put energy swords on them. Same amount of attacks. 2 misses. 2 misses. That was a 6. It was going to be 3 at AP. Well, fuck it. So here we go. We got 2 misses. So we got 7 hits. None of those are AP4, but they are all rending. They all ignore regeneration, and they're all AP3. Roll it again. We only have 1 miss this time, and we have, look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6s in there. So 5 of our 8 hits are going to be AP4 anyways. And then, like I said, the dice give and take away. Here we have 5 whole misses. So again, I would still stick with the rending on those. 3 attacks, AP1 with rending. Next, we have the Eradication Squad. 265 for 3 of them. They are 3/3. Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, Relentless, and Toughness 3. So we got Relentless and we got Fusion Rifles. One shot apiece at 12 inches, AP4 Deadly 3. Replace any fusion rifles with heavy fusion rifles to give them 18-inch range, and you replace one fusion rifle with a super heavy fusion rifle for 18 inches, one shot AP4 Deadly 6. Now, I have a lot of experience fighting against this squad. And what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to extend that out to 18 inches, because if these guys, they break cover and they come forward and they zorch a vehicle, they are definitely going to get attacked back. Just the way that activations work, you're going to have less than the enemy, usually. So they're going to have something that is going to come out and smack these guys down. So they do have defense 3. They are toughness 3. I would still put the heavy fusion rifle on there. You don't want to attract fire with these. And the best way to not attract fire is to not be in range or be behind something. And 18 inches gets you that option. Upgrading to the super heavy fusion rifle, if you're in a vehicle heavy meta, or you expect a lot of vehicles on the board, or you just want to have extra stuff, you could take the super heavy fusion rifle. It also gives you the option, because there are two different weapons, to split fire, because you can split fire by the weapon. So you can have two fusion rifles firing at one, and then the super heavy fusion rifle firing at another. Let's say they're APCs or toughness 6. If all your shots hit, you could potentially kill 2 APCs with this squad. And at that point, whatever points that costs, would be like a 265, 85, 305, 365. Yeah, that would be worth it to pop 2 APCs in one turn. Yeah. All right, moving on. Aggro Squad. 315 points for 3 of them. Quality 3, defense 3, Battleborn, Fearless, Reinforced, and Toughness 3. Coming out the gates with Twin Fist Flamers. One shot apiece at 6 inches, blast 3, and reliable. If they're called Twin Fist Flamers, I thought this would be a 2, but apparently not. But they do have dual energy fists. Oh, they're making up for it here. 4 attacks apiece at AP4. These are some punchy boys. Now, this is a squad that looks very... these weapons look like they're disjointed, but I'll tell you exactly what this squad is for. Let's say it's turn 2. You've moved forward, you've shot, you've attacked in turn 1, whatever. Turn 2, the enemy has the audacity to charge into you. So they charge into you, you fight back with your dual energy fists. You probably win combat unless it's like a melee monster or a unit that's designed to fight units like this. Let's say you kill them, which is not outside the realm of possibility. Now, if you wanted to charge something else, you would be fatigued, but you just switch over to your Twin Fist Flamers, because it's faster than reloading your fists, and you dump a whole bunch of blast weapons on people. So this squad is expensive, but they are designed to be combat effective through the entirety of a turn. If you feel like the Twin Fist Flamers, something is not going to be within, 6? But if something is not going to be within a foot, do the Twin Fist Pistols to give you 18-inch threat range with that. Maybe give them the shoulder grenade launchers. That might be a candidate for a split fire into something else. Imagine that someone charges you, you beat them down with the fists, and then you march forward, flame one squad while you're firing grenades at another squad. Oh, these guys, yes, I can see the damage this squad can do. Now to look at our last unit. Prime Bikers, 290 points for 3 of them, quality 3, defense 3, Battleborn, fast, fearless, reinforced, and toughness 3. So they come with 3 twin heavy rifles for 2 shots at AP1 at 24, 3 heavy pistols for 1 shot AP1 at 12, and 3 close combat weapons for 2 attacks apiece. No upgrades possible on this unit. Essentially what it is they are fast 3-shot bikers, because in order to maximize stuff, you're going to want to get within 12. You have the toughness and the defense to be within 12, but you don't have the close combat potential to really push through and make things run. Shooting wise, you're okay. 290 for 9 shots at AP1. Not terrible. We've seen worse in this list. Plus, you're fast. You can get into spots that your other squads can't, especially on like turn 1. I really wish that there was some close combat options here, because that's, I feel like that's what Prime Brothers live and die on, is the close combat phase. Interesting. Just interesting. Okay, moving on. We're going to start with the light vehicles. There's only one of them. It's the Prime ATV. One guy, 230 points, quality 3, defense 2. Battleborn, fast, fearless, impact 3, reinforced, scout, strider, toughness 6. This guy's got a lot of rules stacked onto him. And impact, we haven't talked about impact yet. If you are not fatigued, meaning you have not fought yet this turn, and you charge into somebody, you roll X number of dice. In this case, it's 3 of them. And for each 2+ you roll, the enemy takes a hit. And quite honestly, you should not be charging this thing, because you've got more guns than those 3 impact hits. You've got 2 shots AP1 at 24 and 6 shots at 18. Now, you can upgrade them with the Unstoppable Shooting Mark if you want, but you can also replace that Gatling gun with the Super Heavy Fusion Rifle. This is probably what I would do with it. For 35 points, it puts you at 265. It gives you a pocket anti-tank that is fast, reinforced with defense 2. With that alone, the enemy is going to have to kind of dedicate some anti-tank to taking you out. And you can dedicate this guy to anti-tank as well with a deadly 6. Like I said, a transport, it's only toughness 6. And with fast, you can get some good angles here. This thing, if the enemy has a transport, that should be this thing's prime target. Get the angle, preferably on turn 1. This might be your first activation. On turn 1, get to somewhere so you can see the transport, pop it, and then whatever spills out of there was probably a shotgun or a close combat squad. It is now sitting in the enemy's deployment zone, all stunified. Next, we're into the vehicles and monsters. We're going to start off with our own transport. I've been talking about blowing them up a lot. Here we go. Your transport. Well, 280 points, quality 3, defense 2, battleborn, fast, fearless, impact 3, reinforced strider. Your transport is toughness 9, and you have transport of 11. Now, transport, I've seen many questions about this, and I'll try to layman's term it up a little bit. With the transport capacity, you count the wounds of the squad that you're putting in there. So if you have a squad of 10 guys that are all toughness 1, they count as 10, and then the heroes that you attach to those squads only count as 1. So if you have a 10-man squad with a toughness 3 hero, that counts as 11. If you have a toughness 3 squad, those count as 9. And then if you put a hero in there with that squad, it becomes 10. Whenever the unit gets out of the transport, it can do whatever it wants within 6 inches of the transport. If you want to charge somebody, they have to be within 6 inches of the transport. If you want to get out and shoot, you can only go 6 inches and shoot. Unless you're slow, in that case, you only get out 4 inches and shoot. You can't target the unit while it's inside a transport. So if you shoot at a transport, you can't be like, I'm going to stuff grenades in the hatches. That's not how it works. And then if that transport is destroyed, you take a dangerous terrain test for everybody inside. And the way you take a dangerous terrain test is you roll 1 dice for every wound inside that transport. In the case of those 10 guys with the hero that's toughness 3, you would roll 13 dice. And for every 1 that you roll, it's a wound taken. And then we'll check out the dangerous terrain rule here. If you roll a 1, the unit takes a wound. This means that you can use your wound mitigating stuff. Now, not your armor save, but if you have like regeneration, or if you have like something that gives you an extra 6 save, you can do it to ignore those wounds. All right, now it comes with a twin frag grenade launcher for 2 shots at 18 with blast 3. That's not terrible. You can replace it for 45 points for a twin storm rifle for 6 shots at AP1 at 24 inches. Quite honestly, you want to keep your transport cheap, I would just keep the twin frag grenade launcher. You can upgrade it with a shield projector for stealth and a heavy machine gun. Stealth means if you're 9 inches away, it's -1 to hit, which with the transport might be worth it. I really wish the heavy machine gun wasn't strapped to it, to where we could get this down to like 20 points, but is what it is. An anti-aircraft machine gun for 6 shots with unstoppable, and artillery relay for 1-shot blast 6 with indirect, or a missile array, 2 shots AP3 deadly 3. Again, you want to keep your transport cheap, so I would ignore most of this. You can do a targeting array for an unstoppable shooting mark. Again, keep it cheap. Just ignore all this down here. Take her base. They have one job, and that's to keep the troops inside safe for the one turn that they're going to be in there, and then drop out. And then after that, your APC can go fuck off and go contest an objective somewhere. At the end of the day, it's just a big brick with defense too. Next, we have Prime Drop Pods. 180 points, Quality 3, Defense 2, Ambush, Battleborn, Fearless, Immobile, Reinforced, Toughness 9, and Transport 11. Okay, so it's pretty much the same concept, except you're using this to ambush units that couldn't normally ambush. So right off the bat, I'll say aim for objectives with this thing, because even when the troops get out, it still counts as a unit of yours sitting on an objective. We got Death Launchers for one shot at Blast 6 at 18. Against some armies, that's good. Against other armies, not so good. You're going to be shooting at larger squads with this. That just might not be a target that's available. You can replace the Death Launcher with a Rapid Storm Rifle for 6 shots, AP1 at 24, 55 points, and you can also do the Unstoppable Shooting Mark. Again, ignore this. Everything past this, ignore it. It's a brick that drops from space. Use it to aim for an objective that no one is sitting on. Get your dudes out. I would probably use this. Okay, in my mind, the way to use this is to drop it on objectives that are out of the way. That would normally take, a turn or two for you or the enemy to get there, and put a squad inside this that shoots. Because when the drop pod lands over there, it's going to be outside of 9. Your shooting squad is going to be able to get out and actually engage in the fight as soon as they get out. If it's a melee squad, no one's going to get within 6 inches of this thing the first turn it drops. So I would say use this for your shooters. Next, we have the Anti-Grav Tank, 470 points to start with. Quality 3, Defense 2, Battleborn, Fast, Fearless, Impact 6, Reinforced Strider, and Toughness 15. Alright, vehicles in the Battle Brothers list are just a little bit tougher than normal. It starts off with twin frag grenade launchers, Blast 3, 2 shots at 18, and a twin light Gatling gun, 8 shots at 18. That is a lot of points for not many gun. Okay, we're definitely going to want to replace that. If we want to use this as a tank, let's see here. Twin Laser Talon, 6 shots, AP3 at 24. That's not terrible, but it's 85 points. Twin Laser Cannon, 2 shots, AP3 Deadly 3 at 36 for 90. I would probably do this one over this one. Why? They're the same potential base. I don't know, man. When we get to tanks and high-pointed vehicles, my brain goes to mush. Replace the twin frag grenade launcher with storm rifles, tempest rifles, or fusion rifles. Oh. And then you can do an AA pod for 2 shots, AP2 unstoppable, or a heavy machine gun, 3 shots, AP1 at 30. Man. Let's see here. We got a whole lot of numbers getting thrown around. I want to put some stuff together and see what we come up with. Anti-grav tank. Okay. We want to put some AP on this thing, so we're going to take this, and we're going to... Okay, let's do this for the cheaper option. And then for the frag grenade launcher, let's go for Tempest rifle for more shots at AP1, and then let's do the AA pod. 645 points for that tank. And, well, I mean, it's got a lot of shots. We got 16 shots, all with AP. Some of them are unstoppable. That's a lot of points for not much go. 645. This falls directly in my... I like to take armies that are full of crap, full of like lighter units, full of low defense units. This is screaming at me. This is against every idea I have for army building. 600. This is in 2,000 points. This is like almost a third of your army in one tank. If you're playing truly big games and you want to fight vehicles or something, in that case I would go for this 615. You got 4 shots that are all deadly with AP3 and AP4. Even then, I don't know. Okay, I might just be biased against stuff like this. Attack speeder. 320 for quality 3 defense 2 ambush battleborn fast fearless impact 3 reinforced strider and toughness 9. So we have an ambushing toughness 9 fast speeder. Gatling gun 6 shots at 18 and a strike missile 1 shot AP3 deadly 3 at 18. Interesting. Replace the Gatling gun with a fusion destroyer or a laser talon. Here we got 2 shots AP4 deadly 3 or 3 shots AP3. Okay. You replace the strike missile with an AA pod or a heavy machine gun that we saw before. You can upgrade it with a frag, a rocket, or a fury missile for a blast, more shots of AP, or another deadly, and then a targeting array with unstoppable shooting. This, I have a feeling, this could be a pretty good pocket anti-tank thing. Let's pull that up again. So here we go. Attack speeder. We're going to keep the strike missile, I think. Yeah, we're going to keep the strike missile. Let's put a fusion destroyer on there. You're ambushing, so you're going to be close. 3 shots, potentially deadly 3 for 340. We're a whole lot cheaper than that tank was. Yeah. Instead of using the tank for anti-tank, I would go for attack speeders, just because you can get 2 of these for the cost of 1 of those anti-tank tanks. Well, almost 2 of these. Close enough. Next, we have the Light Walker. 315 points, quality 3, defense 2, battleborn, fear 2, fearless, reinforced, scout, and toughness 9. We got a Walker pistol, 2 shots AP2 at 18, or an incendiary cannon, 2 shots AP1, blast 3, reliable at 12, and 3 attacks AP1 with stomp. You can replace the incendiary cannon with a twin ion cannon, 6 shots AP2 at 36. You can replace the Walker pistol with a light fist for 4 attacks at AP2. And you can give it a frag, grenade launcher, or a twin Walker machine gun for 4 shots at AP1 for 60 points. Don't do this. Just don't do that. Yeah, this one, I feel like this one's kind of split. The incendiary cannon's cool. I wish you could replace the Walker pistol with another incendiary cannon, but you can't. So, I'll put that in the probably not category. Next, we have the Combat Walker. Here we got more beef. 490 points, quality 3, defense 2, battleborn, fear of 3, fearless, reinforced, and toughness 15. This is a scary boy, fear of 3. Comes with a chest grenade launcher for 1 shot, blast 3 at 18, a stomp for 5 attacks at AP2, and then 2 Walker claws. It'll be a total of 12 attacks at AP1 with rending. And ooh, this has got upgrades. So replace 1 Walker Claw with a twin heavy rifle and a Walker fist. Okay. A light Gatling cannon for 10 shots at 24. Anti-gravity cannon for 6 shots with demolish if you're fighting against stuff that's tough. That could be interesting. A heavy plasma cannon, 1 shot AP4 with a blast of 6. I love plasma cannons, but the heavy plasma cannons where it's got blast of 6, this is where things get kind of silly. You're probably not going to see the return on the investment of blast of 6. If it was blast 3 with 2 shots, it'd be so much better. And then we have twin laser cannon, 2 shots AP3 deadly 3. You can replace 1 of the claws with a twin heavy rifle and a Walker fist. Okay, so you could do double here. You could do 2 fists and then 2 twin heavy rifles. Okay, not terrible. Or a missile array, 4 shots AP2 unstoppable at 30. And then you can replace any of the twin heavy rifles, the light Gatling gun for 4 shots at 18, or a heavy flamer, 1 shot AP1, blast 3, and reliable. Ooh, this is starting to get more interesting now. And then you can replace the chest grenade launcher with a chest gun, chest fuser, or chest machine gun. We have 2 shots AP1, 1 shot AP4 deadly 3, or 3 shots AP1. And you can give it an AA pod or an AA machine gun for either 2 shots AP2 unstoppable or 3 shots AP1 unstoppable. Now we're gonna look at this. I kind of going out of order. We're gonna look at some units we can build in the base section, but this is just interesting to me. So let's see. We're gonna do Walker Fist and a Walker Fist, giving us 8 attacks at AP4. This thing's a big, beefy boy. You kind of want that AP4. You don't want it to get into combat and just be all wimpy. So those twin heavy rifles, I would change those out with heavy flamers for the same thing we talked about before with the aggro squad. If you charge something, you're using your whole activation, but if someone has the audacity to charge into you, you have those heavy flamers to poke them back. If anything survives, that is. Or, you know what? Just because whatever's charging you is going to be either dead or a tough target or less than 3 there, I would switch those out with the light Gatling guns. 8 shots at 18, it gives you the option to attack something else that's further away. The chest grenade launcher, none of this really meshes with those light Gatling guns, does it? No, not really. So in that case, what I would do is I would do chest fuser. Because, again, you could do the split fire thing. The light Gatling guns can fire something further away. Whatever charged you, you can fire at it with a chest fuser. If it is another vehicle or if it is something that's tough, chest fuser is going to, give you more mileage. And then I wouldn't worry about these two. 560 points, tough at 15 with reinforced defense 2. This thing is a monster. It's focusing more on combat, which is something you want to do in the army. I think this is worth it. This would be worth it. All right, now we're down here to artillery, the support turret. 220 points, quality 3, defense 3. Artillery, battleborn, fearless, reinforced, and toughness 3. Artillery has changed in 3.5. Whenever the enemy is 9 inches away, you get +1 to hit, and whenever they shoot at you, they get -2 to hit. So makes you harder to hit and easier for you to land shots. So let's see, what we got for weapons? We got twin laser cannon, 6 shots AP 324, or a turret crew, with a turret crew for 3 attacks in close combat. You could change that to twin thunder cannons for 2 shots AP 2, blast 3 indirect. Maybe. Twin autocannons for 6 shots AP 2 at 36, or a twin crack cannon for 6 shots AP 1 indirect with rending. Ooh, that's a fun here. You can also do targeting rate for unstoppable shooting. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not that I don't like unstoppable. It's an interesting rule. You're going to want to scrape the bottom of the barrel for points here. 35 points on this. I feel like it's only going to be useful against some enemies. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do the unstoppable shooting marks. So the option in my head is for the twin thunder cannon and the twin crack cannon just for the indirect. Now, with artillery, if you fire something 9 inches away, it's indirect shooting. You're probably going to be reaching out that full 24. It's going to be a 2 to hit, +1 to hit. Quality 3 goes to quality 2 when you shoot it. Blast at 3 for the lighter targets at AP2, like for squads. Like, even if you fired another, say you fired at a Battle Brothers squad, they're going to be saving on 5s. With blast at 3, you're not overshooting your blast. It's not blast at 6. Like, if they have a 5-man squad, you're going to hit them 6 times with 2 shots of blast 3, as opposed to 1 blast 6 shot that only hit 5. And then 6 AP1 indirect with rending. The rending is what makes this one interesting. It ignores regeneration. Hitting on a 2 AP1 with ignore regeneration rending. So potentially you could hit on a 6 for a 4+, but that ignores regeneration is what is the interesting part. At that point, it is 230. Yeah, twin crack cannon, in my mind, that's the way to go. And like I said in the beginning, this is not the best. This is not gospel. I'm not aiming for the best. I'm just telling you what I would do. And then Titans. Oh, Titans. 695 to start off with here with a heavy anti-grav transport tank. Quality 3, defense 2, battleborn, fast, fearless, impact 9, reinforced, strider, toughness 18, and transport 11. Wow. I don't play with many Titans because this is it. This is the absolute limit. 700 points is as big as you can get at 2,000 points. This is right on the edge. You have 6 shots at AP1 from twin heavy machine guns, 8 shots from a heavy Gatling gun, and 3 shots at 18 with AP1 on unstoppable from a proximity defense array. AP on this is kind of atrocious for what it is. 17 shots, 8 of those have no AP. If I was going to use this seriously, if it was a larger game and I got to use this, I would definitely definitely switch over to the rapid laser cannons and then the twin laser cannon, because you need to have some kind of AP on this. If you're putting that many points into something just for it to be AP nothing, oh, that's disappointing. Definitely go for these two upgrades, and then these two, whichever you want. If you want to go for just a light infantry killer, I'd say go with the Gatling gun for an extra 6 shots. That puts you at 23 shots. Not great, not terrible. Better than base, but still, go for the big AP shots. Otherwise, yeah, just go for that. Then finally, we have a heavy anti-grav destroyer tank starting off at 795. Too big to play in 2,000 points, but in case you go out and do something big, let's talk about it. Quality 3, defense 2, battleborn fast, fearless, impact 9, reinforced, strider, toughness 18, and transport 6. Why is this transport 6? I wish you could cut that off to save a few points. But you come with twin heavy machine guns, heavy anti-gravity cannons, heavy Gatling guns, and a proximity defense array. Same thing as the other tank, except you pick up 6 shots at 24 with demolish. You replace the heavy Gatling gun with a laser talon. You replace the twin heavy machine gun with twin laser cannons. You replace the heavy anti-gravity cannon with a heavy laser cannon or a heavy plasma cannon. And again, for the upgrades, I would go for the AP, heavy laser cannon, twin laser cannon, and rapid laser talon, giving you 6 shots AP3, 2 shots AP3 deadly 3, 1 shot AP3 deadly 6 with a potential of 12 deadly wounds, and another 6 AP3. You could potentially kill an enemy tank outright. Actually, the odds on that are pretty good, with 18 potential wounds going out to AP3. Okay, now that we've gone through all of the units, let's look at the list and let's make some units here. We'll make some potential units, and I'll show you what I put together. So let's see. We'll just do a few interesting ones. We'll do the Prime Brothers, and let's say Prime Master here. So in this squad we put together here, this is going to be for light target killing. Anything out there that's running around with like toughness, anything out there that's running around with like defense 5, toughness 1 units. We got a Master Auto Rifle here with the Prime Master. He's giving the whole unit Bane, which means they ignore regeneration, and the enemy has to reroll 6s. In the Prime Brothers, we got 4 auto rifles for 8 shots, and then a flamer for when things get up close and personal. And then I gave them versatile reach, meaning that the flamer is going to be pushed out to 16 inches, and then the auto rifles are going to be pushed out to 22. So it's 11 AP nothings, 1 blast, 3 with reliable. And then you could combine the units, and then I would always suggest putting regeneration aura on there for 480 points. This is a squad that will just erase lighter defense units. For heavier type units, I wouldn't suggest Prime Brothers because they can get a lot of AP 1 shots, but the Prime Master, his only real shooting aura is going to be that Bane with shooting. Maybe with Caster we can do some things here, but I would not use these guys for anti-heavy stuff. Let's look at the assault squads. We can do a lot more with assault squads. So here we go. Again, it's about a 500-point squad, 495 points. We got a Prime Master this time with Bane in melee with an Energy Fist for AP4 attacks. We've got 10 assault squad members. 4 of them have heavy close combat weapons for 16 attacks at AP1, and then we've got 2 Energy Fists there for another 4 attacks at AP4. Overall, we got 6 attacks at AP4. This is something I would send against heavier targets because just weight of attacks with AP1 should be okay to put a few through there, but then the Energy Fists will really push it home. And with Bane in melee, you're ignoring the enemy's regeneration. So a lot of stuff can get regeneration now. Putting a 30-point upgrade on there to just remove that from the enemy is pretty good. But in case you don't feel like that, I would go with melee shrouding just to add another layer of protection, meaning that they are going to be -1 whenever they get hit back in melee, if there's anything left to hit you back. All right, we're going to look at veteran Prime Brothers. There's a few things we can do with the veteran Prime Brothers. So let's say you want to use these guys as a anti-tank thing, kind of like the Eradication Squad. The Eradication Squad, you get 3 fusion rifles for 265. They are toughness 3. But here with the Veteran Prime Brothers, you get 3 fusion rifles for 190 with a versatile attack, which means they're going to be hitting on a 2. Because they could get AP1, but you're already AP4. Go for the +1 to hit. So if you want an anti-tank squad that's a little cheaper, on the cheaper side, the Veteran Prime Brothers is going to be the way to do it. There's another thing you could do with those. You could take the Veteran Prime Brothers, give them all flamers to give Blast 3 reliable, but with versatile attack, they all get AP1. Versus an Infernal Squad, they do have Relentless. They do have that over the Veteran Prime Brothers. They're only 5 points cheaper, but they do not have the ability to get AP on the flamers. So, for 5 points, I would actually take the AP over the Relentless. Because that's going to be all the time. This is just, 18% of the time? And here we have more heavy assault stuff. Here we got Veteran Assault Squad. So these guys are still shielded. So they still have a 2-up defense along with a reinforced with a versatile attack. We gave them a regeneration aura and then doubled it. So all 6 in this squad are carrying energy fists. So that's going to be 12 attacks at AP4. Oh, I gave them jetpacks, so they're going to be able to ambush. So that's ambushing in 9 inches away, 12 attacks at AP4. There's going to be hitting on a 2 with a versatile attack that is going to remove whatever problem you point them at. Let's say you wanted to go for anti-infantry with these. We're going to take off the fists, and then we would take off the shield. Say you want to go after some lighter stuff. Here we got a heavy chainsaw swords. Again, with the jump pack and the versatile attack and the regeneration aura. That's going to be 24 attacks at AP1, hitting on a 2. I really wish there was a way that you could get Furious inside one of these squads, but that's been taken away from the Prime Brothers. But if there was a squad that should get Furious, it's this one. All right, let's look at the Grave Destroyers. Now, I kind of hinted at this before, but here we got 3-up save, toughness 3, reinforced and shielded. They all have energy fists, and we have a regeneration aura. This squad is going to be a brick, an absolute brick to shift. I've given them all energy fists because it's 25 points apiece. In a squad like this, you want to pay for that. It is going to be 18 attacks at AP4 whenever they charge in. They're not gonna die to a clapback. At least they really shouldn't die to a clapback unless the enemy really dedicates some stuff to them. 620 points. They are expensive, but just the absolute havoc that this squad can cause in the enemy backline when you charge them in is freaking delicious. Now here's another really expensive thing. Here we got 2 combined guard squads, or 6 of them. We've given them the energy swords for 3 attacks apiece, AP1 with rending, so they're already removing regeneration from the enemy. The AP is going to go up to 3 whenever they fight something that's tough. And then we put a Prime Master in there, and then we gave him Mend, because we can't get regeneration on this squad. I really wish we could. But Mend is going to be the next best thing. They're going to be able to remove D3 wounds per turn. So if you do fail, if something does go through your 2-up save, you're going to have the ability to get some wounds back. And then everything else in the list, in my mind, I couldn't come up with something that the other squads would be better. That just the basic squads or like the veteran squads would be. So let's take a look at the list that I made for our fighting this week.
So in true hobby ADD fashion, I took the list that I've been working on all week and I redid it. And this is what I came up with. Here we are right at the 11th hour as I'm recording this. We got a total of 6 units. In here we have 2 squads of 5 Prime Brothers, all armed with auto rifles. I did not give these guys any of the banners. These are kind of like the chaff units. They're going to be hanging around the back as everything else pushes forward. So hopefully they're not going to be engaged too hard. And if I lose one, I'm not going to be that upset about it. And then I have 2 assault squads. These are the basic assault squads, heavy pistols, heavy close combat weapons, but they do have regeneration auras. These are going to be like the cleanup squad for my next 2 big bricks, charging in anything that is left over so that they can go focus on something else. We have the squad of 6 grave destroyers with regeneration aura, combat shields, and energy fists. Now, if I had the points, I would have wanted to break this into 2 squads of 3 just to be more mobile on the board, but that would cost me another 30 points for another regeneration aura. So we're going to stick them together. It's just going to be a big brick that is going to be next to nearly unmovable. And then we have a Prime Master hooked to the Guard Squad. The Guard Squad, we did the energy swords, the single energy swords with the combat shields, with melee slayer on those. So we have lots of attacks in case they have to fight squads and things, and with the melee slayer in case they go after a vehicle, they're going to be up to AP 3 with rending. And the Prime Master, no real weapons on this thing. It's only got a close combat weapon for 2 attacks. He had to keep the shield in order to have everybody in the same squad shielded, and he's a caster 3. So what I'm going to do with the caster 3, protective dome is what I'm really going to be focusing on here. 3 friendly units within 12 get evasive. So hopefully I can pull that off on turn 1. We'll see what else they're going to need to do as the game progresses. Just having something else that can throw out damage like this Psychic Terror, if I get to a point where I need to engage 2 squads with this 1 squad, that will let me do it. I'm not 100% sure who I'm going to be facing on the board, so we'll see how this works out. Is this uber competitive? No, but I do have some really cool models that I got that I'm going to be painting up like minotaurs. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you guys for sticking around to watch this very long video on the Prime Brothers. If you like stuff like this and you want to see more of it, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel and consider becoming a channel member. Channel members usually get access to the videos first, but sometimes I'm a little close and you might only get access for like 6 or 8 or 12 hours. And thank you again for Printed Starships for sponsoring the channel. Remember, on Monday we are going to be doing a painting stream where you can see me paint up one of these units. I think I'm going to do the Guard Squad with the character. So if you want to come check that out, we're going to be live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time doing that. And then on Thursday, me and Uncle C are going to throw down out in the garage for a live battle report. So I hope I see you all there. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.